Today we are going to talk about how to overcome failures, and I think Kameshwari ma'am will be able to tell about the webinar better than I can. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Suruchi. This is Dr. Kameswari, Dheya Career Mentor and Assistant Professor in Hindi and Head Department of Languages, Bhavans Vivekananda College, Sainikpuri, Secunderabad. Today, I'll be speaking to you on how to overcome your failure. Hope everybody is ready. There is a chat box, there is a questionnaire grid. You can type down your queries, you can type down your questions you want to ask me, and you can proceed further. So let's start. Failure. What is failure? Is there any definition for failure? Let me put a question. What is your life aspiration? Of course, to be on the top of the world. Then, what is happening? Why are you not able to succeed? Is there anything which is putting you down? Your morale? What are the hurdles? What is that coming your way? So let's check up. Any questions for me? Okay, not yet. We'll move further. Reasons for failure can be many, but let us put them one to one and see what we can do. First and the foremost thing, or we can say the reason behind your failure, can be your economic condition. Sometimes it may be disinterest in the field you are in. It's lack of concentration. Sometimes non-cooperation from your family and your friends. And sometimes it is also that you are overconfident. You are forgetful and governed with ego. So let us all think, analyze, and try to overcome our failures. Keep all your economic condition or whichever position you are in. Put that aside. And now look into these slides. You can see few pictures on the screen. There are, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pictures. Observe them carefully. First picture we can say is a germination of a seed. Have you ever seen how the tiny little seed pops out of the soil? It breaks open the earth and very slowly turns into a tiny plant, and then it grows into a tree. But if you or me had to make a pit or a hole, we have to need or we require some effort. We need to have some instruments and a little manpower, little hard work, and then you are successful in making a pit. But what does the tiny seed do? It also puts its effort. Next, 2, 3, and 4. You can see some sprouts. Sprouts. Do they happen just simply like that? Or does it require any process? It requires a little process. You have to soak the seeds overnight. Next day morning, you have to drain them out and put them in a airtight container. Or say you have to tie them in a cloth, the old traditional method our grandparents used to do. And if you leave them for 8 to 10 hours, you see that there are sprouts. If you leave them for some more time, they will turn into tiny plants. What has happened? They were put in pressure. They were closed tight. Pressure from inside and outside. And the result is in front of you. Now, look at the slide 5 and 6. A small little bird carrying twigs. What does it do with these twigs? It carries them to a small, cozy place where it wants to build its nest. What happens? If there is a breeze, if there is a rain or a heavy downpour, the nest is washed away. But does the bird lose hope? It carries the twigs again. Again, it starts the process till it can make a lovely nest. It complete the task is completed. It is accomplished. Now, let us see the last picture on the slide. An ant carrying a heavy load. It is said that the ant can carry 20 to 50 times more weight than its body weight. And if required, it also carries 4 to 5,000 times more weight. And it does not rest. It works constantly, 24 by 7. Is it possible for you and me? No, I don't think so. Let's think over. Let's catch up with things. Any queries? No. Okay. Let's move to the next slide. What comes to your mind as you see this slide? What do you want to be in your life? What is that you want to achieve? What is that which is stopping you grow? What is the aim of your life? You need to think that if you are a failure, there is something which is blocking your mind. First and the foremost thing is to believe in yourself. You have to turn your failure into success. And that is not easy. You have to join the dots and then check for yourself think, and then proceed. There is a quote, and I would quote, nobody else can create a miracle for you, but your trust is the source of all miracles. Let's keep moving. Again, few pictures on your screen. You have to answer my question first. What is that because of which you're not able to move forward? There are some factors, there are some reasons which are stopping you to move ahead. I want the audience to type out what comes to your mind when you see this slide. Yes, audience, you have been very good, not giving me any questions or queries. Okay. One thing which usually happens is, or the reason for not able to move forward is the factor F. What is that F? F is fear. What is fear? Fear of what? Fear from what? Fear of failure, fear of criticism, fear to work, or fear to talk, or fear to express. Usually, people are occupied with negativity and they don't know what to do, how to proceed. And many a times it is observed that the initial stages, when a kid or a child is, say, 4 to 5 years of age, the parents keep on guiding them, and the guidance continue till they settle in their life. It's good that parents are guiding their kids. But what happens? This continuous guidance sometimes will end up to the kid that until and unless the instructions are given, the guidance is given, he or she is not able to move forward. In the Indian scenario, we see that the parents, till the age of the kid is till the age of that, say, teenage or youth, till they get a good job and settle in their life, they keep guiding them. But when the guidance is not given, the morale of the kid is at a fix. He or she will not be able to move forward, and it ends in failure. Moving up next, you have again a picture. You must be thinking, how will I join these pictures? But it is quite evident, and I would proceed in the same manner. Failure is the first step to success. You also need to know that success is not the opposite of failure. You have to overcome your failures and be successful or achieve success in life. But what do you need for that? You need an attitude. And here, attitude means a positive attitude. Usually, uh, people will have a notion. If they are not successful, they would not like to move forward. And sometimes they become a bit adamant. They don't want to take anybody's advice. And when you are asked to climb the ladder of success, first thing which comes to your mind is, I won't do it. You're very adamant. But when you think about your future, about your life, sometime when you're alone, you will feel, I cannot do it. And again, there is a question. I want to do it, but how do I do it? And when that comes to your mind, let me tell you, you are traveling, you are climbing the ladder of success. You will certainly at a time give a trial. You will try doing it. And with a little, uh, not problems, I will say, a little hurdle, you will end up at one particular juncture. And then you will feel, I can do it. And you will do it. And that is the mark. You have done it. Then you will feel that, yes, I did it. So, what have you done to yourself? You have moved from negative to positive. It has taken time, but it did happen. In English, you have a quote, Rome was not built in a day, but it was built a day. Nothing is impossible. It takes time. And for that, you need to have patience. You have to work continuously. You have to keep checking and you have to move forward. Moving up next, there is a smooth road, there is a rough, bumpy road, there is a rough road with a caution board. Say you're traveling, you're going on a long drive. The road is very smooth. You're enjoying the drive. You're very happy. Suddenly, there is a bump. You're moving on a rough road. What happens? There is a displeasure. Your happiness for a second is is put on a hold. But do you stop moving? You will, with a little displeasure, unhappiness, try to move. And remember, you were traveling on a smooth road without any problems, and when the rough road has come, you will, or the journey, the time which was which you took till then will naturally not be the same. And if the bumpy road or the rough road comes to you with a caution board, what happens? You are prepared for it mentally. You are aware, yes, there is a rough road ahead. I have to be a bit careful. I cannot move in the same speed. You break your speed and move forward. But the path of your life is not the same. It doesn't come to you with a caution board. You will have difficulties, you will have hurdles, you will have problems, setbacks, but you have to keep moving. You have to be prepared for any situation. You have to train yourself and you have to tune your mind. I think I will drive your attention towards Swami Vivekananda's quotes. Swami Vivekananda says, the greatest sin is to think yourself weak. You have to grow from inside out. The external body will grow as per the age, but you have to take shape from within. And he also says that in a day when you don't come across any problems, you can be sure that you are traveling in a wrong path. Why did he say so? He says this, why? Because the path of success is full of challenges and problems. If you don't encounter any problem, that means you are not traveling on a right path. The path of success is full of challenges and problems, as I have told you. So I want you to read these quotes, think, rethink, analyze, and try to put yourself on a path which will lead you to success. It also happens that when you're moving on your path, people around you, if you're at home, your parents, if you're at workplace, your colleagues, your friends, your relatives, everyone will try to give you pieces of advice. They will try to put you on right path. They will try to correct you at every juncture. They will guide you, but you are not in a position to listen to them. You feel that the knowledge you have acquired is enough. But let me tell you, you have whatever you have acquired is not enough. You have to keep working. You have to keep on updating your knowledge. You have to constantly work on it. You have to keep abreast of the current situation. You should be able to stand, fit in as per the market requirement. The sayings of our great Mahatmas, scholars, and learned people will prove futile if you're not ready to take anything from it. You don't have to consider these sayings as it is, but you can very well experiment and then conclude. I will leave you here for a moment and give you a food for thought and move ahead to the next slide. Just to warm up, again, few pictures on the screen. You can see a horse, a bird, a monkey, an elephant, a fish. So, what's common? Is anything common with these animals or birds? Your answer will be no, nothing. I will say each one has their own abilities, their own capabilities, and they maintain their life. They get what they want. They try to move. But if I want to measure them on one scale, can I do that? Again, your answer will be no. If I say that to measure their success, I will ask them to climb a tree. The monkey is very happy. The bird too can do it. But what about the poor fish? Will it leave hope? You might again say that that's not fair. You cannot measure their success or capacity or capability asking them to climb a tree. Such is your situation. There are different type of people in the society. Each one has their own capabilities. But one thing you have to see or check is to be successful, to prove yourself. You have to, whichever field you are in, whichever atmosphere you are in, you have to move forward. You have to continuously put effort. So, again, leave you here and then move up next. Colorful fruits. What is that coming in your mind? Can you uh, say come out of the virtual screen for some time? Imagine that all of them are there right in front of you on the table. What will you do? You will grab them all at a time. But will you be able to eat them at one go? Maybe if the fruit is small, you will pick one or two, or say if they are grapes, you will pick a handful. And if it is a bigger fruit, what do? You will cut it into pieces or slices and take one or two. Such is your life. You cannot have everything every time and all at a time. You need to wait for a while. You need to acquire. You need to possess. You need to handle things. You need to practice. You can do anything and everything, but it requires patience. There is a limit for everything. You need to wait. You need to pause. Sometimes you may have to crawl. Sometimes you may need to take small steps, and sometimes you may have to take a big leap. Everything depends on the situation. So, shall we keep moving? Up next. Oh, so many famous personalities of yesteryears of our country, national and international famous figures. Can you name them? I think I should give some. Why have I listed these people when there are many more famous personalities in our nation and abroad? Why only these few? You must have read their success stories. You must have also compared them with your life. These famous personalities have earned name and fame for the nation, took to the world. What all? They all are on the top now. Either they started their career late, or they were tagged failures, or did they start their careers late, or they were tagged failures. But did they ever stop where they were rejected? They acquired and they possessed the required qualities. They did not relax till they achieved. And even now, they are working continuously to be on the top. And they are our ideals. The sun rises every day. Does it stop because it is a Sunday or it is a weekend? Does it stop because it is a gloomy weather or it is chill? It is completely or constantly doing its job. You also have to continuously work hard. You have to move on the path of success. You have to move towards success. Whatever might be the condition. You need to put on constant hard work. You have to acquire knowledge. You have to be disciplined. You have to improve your skills, whether they are technical or communicative or soft skills, which are lacking in you. Some skills are time bound. Be smart in picking them. Right time, right skill. Do not end up as jack of all and master of none. But you should also keep in mind that nowadays, candidates or students who are multi talented are given the first preference. So, for that, you have to acquire few qualities. And these qualities, I will I will say that first thing is you need to acquire is patience. You need to be disciplined. You need to be committed. You should have dedication and you should be trustworthy and you should prove that you are a go getter. And for all this, you need to analyze. You need to think. You need to acquire. You need to move. Let me put one more question. Have you ever observed a spider weaving a web? Observe it whenever possible. I think it's the nature's gift bestowed on it. You must be aware of a story of a brave king, Vikram, who found a shelter after a defeat. He saw a spider weaving a web. What he noticed was each time the spider is weaving the web, it would slip and fall down. It tried many a times, but it was not successful. But suddenly, it started weaving the web. Inspired by the spider, King Vikram moved out of the cave. He found his soldiers. He fought with the enemies and finally reached his own kingdom. You also must be aware of the story slow and steady wins the race. So, what is the moral? Perseverance is the key to success. One thing you should never forget is to never give up. According to an article, Bow and Arrow, written by John Council, he says that if you want to hit your target with great speed, power, and accuracy, the first thing you need to do is to pull back. So please take these advices. Next slide, another lesson. You have heard little drops of water make a mighty ocean. One thing you should note is the water always flows downwards. It tries to find slope, and it takes the shape of a container whichever it occupies. You should acquire or possess such properties, such qualities. You should be like a small, tiny plant which takes its form wherever it gets the opportunity to grow. You must also understand your duty. What are you expected to do? Your parents, who have tried to put you by all means on the right path, will have few expectations. They want you to reach on the top or in a more comfortable, better position they are in. They will, if you have started earning, they will not even expect a penny from you. Even if you offer them, they will only say, keep it for yourself, save a little money for your future. Their expectations are not for returns. There are certain duties you need to perform. Make a list of them and perform them well. Is there any formula or a procedure to perform your duties? Duties are whatever or what is expected from you at that particular time. That is your duty. You cannot list down your duties. You have to sit and think what best you can do to be successful in life. Initially, or at first, or foremost thing you need to do is to have a proper plan. And mind you, you should always have two proper plans, plan A and plan B. Suppose you are not able to go or move forward with the plan A, you need to have a plan B. Immediately, you should be able to switch from one plan to the other, because you might think, if I am planning and moving on with the required qualities, I will end up at one particular place or I will reach my goal. It doesn't happen. Unexpected hurdles come your way. Then you cannot think or move. But if you have a plan, you can execute it. You have to put your plan into action. Sky is the limit. You need to have solutions for your plan, and you need to have a particular strategy. Without strategy, without a plan, you cannot move forward. I usually tell my students, and I also keep analyzing myself each day. So, here I'll give you a small tip, a self assessment tip. You don't have to show this to anybody, but you can make one for yourself and put it on your desk or put it in your room, so that Put it in such a manner that it will not escape your sight. What do you do with this tabular form? You try to put the do's and the don'ts, or should not. You will have a clear picture, a vision to move forward. It will also give you a little momentum. Say if you have some weaknesses, sit in a place away from all. If you have a separate room, sit in that. List down all your weaknesses. List down the qualities you need to acquire. Have a proper planning and say you will give yourself a little time. Say a 2 months or 3 months or say a 6 months period. And on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is the least and 10 is the highest, each progressing month, give yourself 2 marks. You need to be a bit honest. You just cannot go on giving yourself marks and at the end say that, yes, I have come up to the scale, the 10 on the scale, and there is no improvement. You need to be honest. Every passing month, every passing day, you need to be a successful or progressive person. And let me tell you, self analysis, the self generated progress report will definitely bring a change in you. You don't have to show this progress report to anybody. You are the better judge. You need to be calm. You need to be composed. You need to be like a volcano, which is calm from outside. You have to test yourself, and this test is not complete. Every day is a test, and you have to qualify with 100% marks. Let's move further. You have to remember that your life is your life, not somebody's life. People will give you advice, but you have to think. The whole world can be in your hands. And in Hindi, we say, Kar lo duniya muthi mein. But you need to walk on the ladder of success. And once you have started climbing the ladder of success, nobody will even ask you, how did you do that? What kept you moving ahead? Nobody will ask you. You have to move ahead. Again in Hindi, you will say, बहती हवा को किसने रोका है? And let me sum up. Never think you are lost. Gain confidence. Efforts never go vain. Read books which inspire you. Listen to motivational speakers whom you think or you want to listen to. They will teach you lessons for life. Talk to your parents, talk to your friends. They will guide you because they know you better and they will hold you when you fall. Avoid distractions. You have many nowadays and are very easily available. Overcome the setbacks. Put your right foot forward. I would like to conclude by Swami Vivekananda's quote: Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is achieved. And Mahatma Gandhi says, and I quote, strength does not come from physical capacity, it comes from an indomitable will. Tony Robbins says that setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. Every day is a new beginning. So, ready, get set, and go. Okay, there is a question from Mr. B. Srinivas Rao. He says, how to avoid distractions? Um, so, let me tell you, distractions, you have to be focused. You have to, I'll give an example of a horse. A horse, uh, when the horse is tied up to a vehicle, the eyes from the sides are covered. And even if you put on your helmet and you're moving on a two-wheeler, to avoid distraction or to avoid your sight, what do? You wear a helmet so that the focus is just on in front of you. You don't want to see here and there. You have to tune yourself. And for tuning, you need the cooperation of the family members. You may say, or you may tell your kid that do not use mobile phone all the time. Nowadays, without mobile phone, even online teaching is not happening. But you have to keep a watch on what your kid or your child is looking into. You are asking your child not to see the mobile and you are continuously on the mobile. Either you're on the Twitter or on the Facebook or on the WhatsApp. So what are you teaching? The kid observes the parents, people around him or her, and tries to pick up very fast. So if you want to see your child not to distract himself or herself, you also need or you also have a particular you need to be focused and you need to guide. You have to lead by example. So hope Srinivas Rao, I have cleared your doubt. There is something in the chat box. Any other questions, Suruchi?
No, ma'am. If anyone else has any questions, please, I'll give you like a couple of minutes more so that everyone can ask their questions.
And I would like to even add one more thing is you need to have an aim, and certainly you need to be happy with your situation. Never compare yourself with anybody. And if you want to compare, compare with a person who is more hardworking, more, uh, I say, who wants to achieve something in life. Compare with that person. If you compare yourself with a person who is not very disciplined or not very focused about his career or future, because he or she must be from a uh, rich background, you will not be able to move forward, because you will compare with him or her and feel that you are not in a better position than them. And sometimes that comparison will end up in displeasure, or we can say that you will not be comfortable position, you will be depressed. And if you become depressed, you will not be able to come out of the depression. Something else, somebody has posted a question. Okay, thank you, Mr. Srinivas Rao. Rohan Pandey says how to control overconfidence. Okay, overconfidence, Rohan. I feel overconfidence comes to you when you start thinking that I know everything. I am the best. When this comes to your mind, I feel that the path on which you are moving, there is a sudden hurdle, because you will not be able to move forward. And if that situation has occurred, then let me tell you, it's going to be very difficult. You only think one thing. As I've already told you, our Mahatmas, our leaders, people around you who are completely focused and are trying to be successful at every juncture. I don't want to take names, but there are Ambanis, there are Mittals, there are Ratan Tata. Everyone is striving even today. They are at top of the world. Even Bill Gates, they are on the top of the list, but they don't rest. Because if you start taking rest, what happened in the story Hare and the Tortoise? The hare was overconfident, and it thought that even if it takes a nap for some time, it will surely move ahead of the tortoise. But what did the story prove? It lost the game. Being confident is different, and overconfidence is different. Overconfidence is governed by ego, and that ego will not take you, it will only put you down. Say you must be better than many people. Fine, that's fine. Still, you can move forward. There's nothing wrong. I have already told you, sky is the limit. So, where does the question arise to stop? You keep moving, And sometimes you might feel you are the only one who is moving ahead. Later on, one person will join you, and quite possible that there will be a herd who is following you. So you are not doing anything to impress anyone. You are moving ahead to be successful. Be happy with your success. You're not going to prove anything, or you don't have to prove anything. If you're successful, you are happy. Your people around you are happy. So, hope Rohan, I have fulfilled your query. I can see someone else typing a question: how to overcome low self confidence. Yes, Aditi, there are many people, even if I say around me, there are many people who have low self confidence. And I feel this low self confidence is because of that factor F, which I was speaking to you in the beginning. Fear. Fear, this type of people, I think or I feel that they were given continuous guidance by their parents or by their family. Spoon feeding. And they were not allowed to move from one place to the other. Or rather, we can say they were never given a chance. They were not allowed to speak their heart out. So when that situation comes, there is fear all the time. You try to talk to such people at regular intervals. Try to ask them questions, and you will come to know that the problem lies around the four walls or their house atmosphere. Uh, it is said that if you want to swim, you don't have to learn swimming. Just go near the water, put yourself into the water, and move your hands and legs. Automatically, you will start swimming. And if you have learned two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, I'm sure you would have had a fall. But what did you do? Did you leave or did you stop driving? You started driving with more spirit, with more confidence. You must have thought, okay, it's okay if I fall once. It's okay if my scooter goes for a repair or my car goes to a repair. I will learn. And that will surely take you to the path of success. So people with low self confidence have to work out themselves. They need to motivate, because motivation is not always external, it is also internal. You have to have a feeling that I can do it. And if you have that feeling, and people from the external are giving you pressure, or not pressure in a negative sense, but a pressure in a positive sense, you will start moving. So, Rohan, Aditi asked me this question. So, Aditi, I hope I have given you the necessary or the essential tip. Someone has something in the chat box. Yes, Suruchi, anything else? Anybody else wants to ask me something?
Um, there are a couple of questions in Q&A, but I guess you have answered all of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that is it. This is where we end this session.
I
And
would like to read out a small poem.
okay, ma'am. Okay, go.
Yeah. Which is related to this situation. It is a poem by Laura Ding Edwards. The title of the poem is The Mountain. Again, someone has put a question. Okay. Thank you, Captain Atul Mishra. The title of the poem is The Mountain. If the mountain seems too big today, then climb a hill instead. If the morning brings you sadness, it's okay. Stay in the bed. If the day ahead weighs heavy and your plans feel like a curse, there is no shame in rearranging. Don't make yourself feel worse. If a shower stings like needles and a bath feels like you will be drowned, if you haven't washed your hair for a day, don't throw away your crown. A day is not a lifetime. A day, a rest is not a defeat. Don't think of it as a failure, just a quiet, kind retreat. It's okay to take a moment from an anxious, fractured mind. The world will not stop turning while you get realigned. The mountain will still be there. When you want to try again, you can climb it in your own time. Just love yourself till then. Thank you. Thank you, all of you.